Oh, 200, yeah, baby. All right, all right, all right. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Uh, mm. Hello, hello. Welcome to another ES Futures trading stream. Today is Monday, December 8th. It is 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time in the US. Um, I didn't have the chance to stream last Friday, not also earlier today. I have things to do. No, I didn't have. I don't. I didn't have things to do. I was doing. I wasn't ready to be here in this market. All right. I am just opening. I'm just opening my trading accounts. As I say, now I decided to move my trading to the laptop. It's kind of risky to have it here. In this in the screen that you are seeing now. Then let's start to what is happening right now at this moment. Okay, I'm not going to talk about what happened, but what's happening now. Even though what happened has a lot to do with what's happening now. Right? We have this. We have this day, right? That starts. Where's my market? The market opens and immediately after it opens, shoots way lower, right? Um, I didn't have a bias today. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Um, but I remember Friday. I remember Friday. I remember the inventory, how the overnight was. I remember what happened in the pre-market during Mondays, during Fridays. If you remember, I got too much charts here. Let's be honest. This is too much. Okay, but I hope you remember what happened. What happened here? All right, what happened here? This is going to be a one stream. I'm going to replay this day. I'm going to find out time to do this. What happened during this day, because it was really nice. And what is happening now? Um, it's a consequence. No, that's a no. It's a consequence, but it is a following through all the things that were happening last week. Now, I hope you were during the opening of the week last night when the market opened. You can see the opening right here, um, right here, right? Market opens. Oh, what? Okay, market opens open it here. Oh, let's do it right. Market opens here, right? Market opens here. It's too narrow, man. Okay, opens here, shoots way higher, comes back, shoots way higher. All that during this period. That kind of gives an idea what can happen, right? What can happen uh, today. Now, as the day opens, right? Where is settle? What's it, where is settle? Okay, that's one really important piece of information coming into today, right? Settle, settle is right here at this level here. Right? All the overnight inventory, all the activity is above settle, meaning all overnight inventory is long. This little part here, the overnight doesn't fix this. Today it opens right there, which for me is an indication that these three levels here, now there is four. We have something like this now, right? Just disregard this part. And okay, previous settle is right here, and we have a non-excess low right at previous settle. So all of this, all of that happened here in the end period, plus the overnight, right? Coming into the session are really a risk of being taken out, of being clear, of being rebalanced. I didn't know what was going to happen, but when you see this kind of activity happening, opening and selling right away, and not having a pullback and having anything uh, back, man, there's a good also that at least this part here, that at least this part here is going to be revisited. Okay, so having a long here now, right, is not an option, right? It was not an option after the market open or maybe a couple of days. But let's go to this. I'm gonna show. I need to show you something here. Okay. And what is this? Notice volume today. Okay. Volume. As the market opens, it's slightly lower, right? We have two periods. The first two periods can slightly over. Now I have added something to this study, which I think is really important. Right? I have added this another studies here. This one, the tops, and this one are both the same. Really, are both the same. It is a volume, right? It is a volume. It is this volume. For example, this period, how much volume is relative to previous day. Okay. Same goes for this one. For example, at the opening volume is 5% lower than the previous day. As you can see here, private is slightly lower. I know it's slightly lower, but I don't know how much. Now I know how much. That's why I did this. Now I know it's 5%. Okay, it's not that bad, not that good, but it's something. But as the day develops, okay, notice what happened to volume. First we have 5%. Let's make this bigger, okay? It does 5%, 5%. Then there's a jump here, 17% lower. This triangle pointing downwards. Yes, lower. 70% lower. 70% lower. 20% lower. Right. What this means is right. You know, Information without context is worthless. Okay? Now, what this means really is as this market opens and goes lower, right? We have, we know that this low is no good because it's right at settle, previous day settle, right? Probably this inventory is 100% long because Friday settle is right here, right? So as this market drops here, we got one period. Immediately, the second period, where it comes from? Halfback, right? But that is these two periods, or those are these two periods. The third period here, this is when I see a significant decrease in volume, right? Really, because you can see this volume here coming up this way now, right? There is a kind of like a recovery, tries to recover, increases a little bit, but still, relative to the previous day, is the same. The next period, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth period is even lower than all of that. Okay, this is when we have 22%. Okay, and that's why I have these studies here. Now I can quantify how much it is, right? These two actually are the same. This one and this one are the same. The difference is this starts from A and goes A, B, C, D, this direction, and this one goes in the opposite direction. So I will always have the last period here at the beginning, right? I'm testing this. I'm just testing. This is another study I'm doing, and notice what is happening now, right? What 22, 18 is still lower, but increasing a little bit. But that doesn't. That's not what's important here, for me at least. But what's important is as this period continues going higher, especially starting the third, then we have a fourth and fifth. What happens is this is one A, B, C, D, E here, right? Having a trade that goes in the direction of what the market is doing at that moment as a risky, right? So the risk of being short increases as the market starts printing the. Furthermore, what happened? What happened here is that you can see right away. Questionable high, questionable high. Now we have these two here, right? And associate this directly to this volume here. So the shorts here, those who try to short the market here, look at what happened to them, and what the market did after that is just moving this, these stops here a little bit higher now. They are higher here. Right? The days to the downside, there is no reason to go to take to look to the other side to take a long, for example. But I won't do I wouldn't be doing anything right now at this moment because there were a couple of opportunities and I think there's no more right now. Okay. Now that I have this chart, this volume, I can also I guess I can also do the same for Nasdaq. Let's duplicate this chart here. Just let's see how this chart I just want to see. Oh, my bad. This actually is Nasdaq. Huh. Look at that. It's Nasdaq. That's the volume for Nasdaq. I thought it was ES. Hmm. Oh, come on. ES. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Yes. We all make mistakes, and this is happening live. Okay, the kind of like the same pattern, right? You can see here. You can see here volume kind of lower, even a little bit lower. Here is when it increases. This is more, and this is even more. The same thing. These markets, these two markets at least, are seeing here. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. What happened here? 8, 11. Oh, here even the change is more noticeable. We have 9% at the opening, 11% less the next period, 18% less, 19, 25 less, and then 22, 20. Now it's starting to increase a little bit. Now we have 18 here, 14, 12, a little bit higher now. Allow me a moment, please. I just have too much. Okay, so what that is what is happening right now. Right now, I don't I don't trade all day long. I mean, I am in front of my computer all day long, right? But if there is something, usually opportunities are not that abundant. Any 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 regular trading day. Okay, now what this is telling me about the market? What this tells me is that what I'm seeing here, right, is basically short-term trading. What are the schedules, news, events for the current week? Monday, we don't have pretty much nothing. We have jolts tomorrow. Now, because of the shutdown, these ones may have some impact in the market. Right? This happens at 10 a.m. tomorrow. You got to be very careful here. If, for example, that can be this period, right? We may see something there. Um, Based on what's happening now, based on what happened Friday, we may see some opportunity tomorrow around that time. Now, Wednesday, we have FOMC. It is priced in the market because that is the bets this market is having, right? 100% odds that the Fed is going to cut rates. You know, that's it's not 80%, it's not 70%, it's 100%. You know, the market is 100% sure that there is going to be a rate cut tomorrow or Wednesday, right? And more likely, also based on that kind of information, you know, that rate cut is already priced in what we are seeing here. What else do we have? Friday GDP. No, this is Britain GDP. We don't have nothing else. We don't have nothing else here. So all eyes are on on Wednesday. Now into the next thing. Let me maximize this. And still I didn't zoom out, okay? Start the profile. Let me zoom. Let me make this smaller. Okay. What I can see here. Look at this range. Right? Just look at that relation. This day today is looking below this channel, right? One of the things that I also, now that I remember, one of the things that I have now, I'm going to start zoom out a little bit by bit, to see to try to put the market in context now. Okay. On Friday, right? Friday, one as the market opened Friday, as the market opened Friday, I had this chart open on last week, right? Market open, and I took out previously range, high, whatever, right? Now I need to call another chart here, and this is going to be very important for what may happen, may happen tomorrow, or maybe even Wednesday. Okay, and this is what I'm trying. Bill with me just a moment. Okay, we have this day. We have this day. This Thursday. What it is? What it is? Okay. Okay. We have Friday here. Right? We have Friday here. Standard profile. Let's open Thursday. Okay. Friday. Okay. Just this is just unbelievable what happened, right? We have the same thing that maybe the same thing is happening here again. I don't know. Okay, maybe. Just check what we have here, these highs. What happened? We had three whites here. Right? Now we have two here, right? What happened after that? That is taken. We have double high here. We have double high here. Double high. Right there. Right there. Double high. The market closes right there as well. So there's a clearly this market is there's a lot of shorts here. The market trying to take the market. Every time this market sells, what happens? In the bigger time comes back, right? You can see this wave here coming back. You can see K selling coming back. We can see L selling coming back. M try to sell. Every time it sells, they have less and less and less, right? And leaves an absolutely weak intraday high. Right? I'm not talking about this high here. I'm not talking about this one, but about this. And this has been a trade that literally I haven't seen maybe 4 years, right? Many times I have losses or bad losses because I thought that I have seen something, but I was wrong. And Friday is really when I see this happening. You know what? I know what's happening here. I know what's happening here, right? Very low odds that this is, or very good odds that this is going to work, right? Remember, the overnight session doesn't repair this high, really. Especially when I see the market opening or selling off right before the open. Right? We have these periods. Right? What is this? Y, W, X, or whatever. But just they kind of sell off, right? But this activity, what happened here, all of this does not fix this one. Really, it doesn't. And why it doesn't? Because the inventory is just too low. The volume during the overnight is just too low. And that's why I got a long here. Not here, my body, but somewhere around here, or maybe in this area, right? And what that was about, Okay, what was that about? Just aiming to take this one, and this one. Okay, just that, absolutely just that. And once you see the market opening and just taking this high out, probably, okay, probably the market was targeting the 6900. And as the day develops, another piece of information here. It happens that now we have a trend in the monthly time frame, and this is to the downside, right? And to change, right? Remember, trading is about change. For that change to happen, to show it in the bigger, especially in the bigger time frame, this high, right, which is the one that has translated from this one to here, this November high. This market has to take this high out, right, for change to be present, right? As long as this high is not taken, this more the overall trend or the bigger time frame is still to the downside. And once this happens, unfortunately, I stopped out here. I didn't see this. Okay, when I saw this information, when I recall that piece of information, I was already stopped out of the market because I took a trade to the downside here. Right, I took a trade to the downside here, but I had my stops very um, I was trading options, and my plan was if this market takes B high, I'm out. But this is something extraordinary that happened and happens also uh, all the time, right? We see the market take this high just a couple ticks, and then uh, that is also something I am observing today. Okay, just a couple ticks, and now we may have something here. Now, just a couple of ticks. Right now is for today is kind of for me it's too late, right? You can see this that this rally is weakening here. We have weakness there, weakness here as well. And I was stopped out here, really. I didn't have. I guess I consider that I would have been chasing the market if I get back into that. But as the market developed, I thought that boy, um, and unfortunately that's something also that happened because of the scales that we have from previous trades, right? Because my belief was, right, this is what's going to happen. These highs are going to be taken, and then the market is going to break, right? It's just that to happen, right? But I forgot this part of my plan. I forgot the entirety of my plan after I have to focus on this upside. Right? And I get stop out here. And not that I stop out myself. Right? When I saw C taking big high, I just closed my put there, well, my single put, right? Um, and this is trading, right? Sometimes you just follow your plan and doesn't work. But I consider that to be a good trade, okay? Even if I close, because the most important part for me is that I follow my plan, right? I follow my plan. I was zooming in. Maybe I zoom out too much, but it is what it is. It is what happened. Now today is just a continuation of the kind of action that we are having. My question now is what I'm questioning now is today's Monday, tomorrow Tuesday, then we have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, right? Today it is just a continuation, right, of the same thing, the same kind of market that we have. Very short time frame market, just basically trading money. Market constantly getting short, getting long, being longs being forced to cover, and shorts being squeezed, just like that. I don't know if that is going to be the case for Wednesday. Okay, especially after the after Chairman Powell press conference, especially after that. I don't know. There can be change. That remember, trading is about change. Now I'm going to zoom out even more now. We got a multi-time frame that is still to the downside, very questionable high here, right? Remember, when this market open, when the month open, we have acknowledged this, right? And at the time, I was talking about that this market can challenge this high before it sells, right? Okay, as long as this high is not taken, this is still a market to the downside. Now the daily or the weekly is one time frame higher. The daily usually is the first one to show change, which is the one that we have here on the right. Notice this formation here, right? Can you see what's happening here? Okay, if I have a short, uh, probably I would have to feel something in here, right? Then something in here. These traders are so predictable. Now the market is trying. It failed here to establish a new range here. It failed here to establish a new range here. Is it going to fail here, or maybe it can come something. It can something like this can happen. I don't know what's going to happen, right? But this is an area, right, that I could say that probably the low of the day has been set. Probably, there are good also low of the day has been set, especially if I see the time of the day, especially after I'm seeing the amount of volume this market is having. And remember, everything that I say is just low of the basic. Okay. Now, I'm still going to let me now use the daily. Okay. I guess this can be very useful now. This can be okay. My main reference here is 60. What is this? 69 now. 69. I have a special frame of reference at 66, 60 something, 66, 66, somewhere in here. Right? Somewhere in here. But what my most traders are watching now, is the 50 moving average. 50 moving average. 50 moving average in here. Now notice this narrow trend here. What happened here, or what happened Thursday, we have a look above. Right? It closes right at the high of the range. Today it opens right at the high of that range and has checked the opposite side of that range. The trade is for all means what we for me, or from my point of view, has been completed here. Anything that can happen here is just too much risk to get for me to get a long or to get short. Anything that if I'm going to be buying, selling now is more likely, me being trapped by price, right? Oh, the market has break. It's going to keep going lower. Let's sell. Oh, there's going to be a short squeeze. I want to buy. This is just too much risk, right? There's nothing clear right now, other than the revisiting of the opposite side of the range that has been completed. That was the trade. Right? Of course, in hindsight, it's easy to say, to talk about everything. Now, check it out. Let's check out the markets. Okay? This is today intraday. Bonds, for example, we have a significant break in the bond market. This is very questionable here. This looks like long liquidation. Right? This have long liquidation, very questionable highs here. Look at what happened here. Look at what we have here. Look at what we have here. We have here very mechanical trading going on all over the place. All markets are doing the same thing. This is the 15, the 16, very similar. We have some. This is different, but if you remove this or disregard this and join and move this part over here, it almost fits in here, right? This is going to look like a short long liquidation in the gold. Crazy dollar, crazy day for the dollar. Short covering, long liquidation. There's a trend in crude oil as well. Now, let's check the daily for these markets. Okay, check this out, man. There's a nice, a clear trend. And this is when this is why I'm doing this, because this is really interesting now. It's becoming really interesting here. Okay, let's start with crude oil. Okay, we got this selling from the 50s. Okay, but there's a downside trend in this market, and the opposite side of the range has been reached. Oh, is this going to every time? It's kind of widening here. Is this going to come lower now? Don't know. No, but the trend's to the downside in that market. Um, the dollar is, I don't know really. I don't know, it can go both ways here. It seems like it's trying. This market is very close to change, because this is a heavy reference, the 200 moving average. Once this 200 is taken, it's just matter of time than not, for the market to to keep to do something like this, right? It's kind of like as a matter of fact, it's something like that is happening now, right now, as we speak. We have this range, the market is looking below, right? Trying to find support at 50, not finding now, uh, targeting the 100. Very questionable lows here. There may be something here to the downside before it can go high. Gold is compressing here. Gold is compressing. We may have something here to the downside. Maybe taking this 50 out before we can see something else. And this is what is really important. you know just check this out. What's happening? The 30 has already taken the 200, right? If this one doesn't come back, okay, or this 200 falls, right, this is not going to be good for the market. Okay, so I am trading with an eye on these markets. Now, let me bring another chart here, and these are going to be, these ones are going to be the big tech ones. Watch this out, right? Watch this out. What's going on here? No, I don't care about the intraday, but let's check. Let's take the daily. And identifying patterns. We have talked. I mean, I think that Tesla is kind of like a really weak market. All right. This is one of the weakest ones here. Let me check. Okay. We have a base support for Nvidia here. This market can trade. This will keep going higher. So this market can break here. Right? But I don't think this is going to go lower because it got a tremendous, uh, uh, significant support here, and there's another level down here as well, right? That's for Nvidia. What worries me about this Tesla thing is doing this thing here. It can't do that, right? Meta has a significant gap on the down in the upper side. Big gaps usually are not filled right away. Sometimes the market tries to fill, comes right to the center before it sells again. Notice how this is becoming very emotional now. Look at these lows here, firecracker effect here forming on. But right now, this is some kind of bounce that is happening there. Google, I guess Google was the one that I liked the best. You know, we have the 50. They're still trading far from the 50, right? Nothing is getting close to the 50. Mm, Apple also is doing the same. And I see a lot of change from Apple to Nvidia. Right? Microsoft is testing the 200 here. Same goes for Amazon. Amazon has a nice range actually. Amazon, you can see this range here, right? Or you can do it here as well. Right? They may break, but it looks like it can have a recovery there. Now, seasonality also matters here in this market. It is end of the year. Everybody's expecting, everybody's waiting for the Santa Claus rally. Remember what happened last year. Also, this is the rollover period that is starting right now as well. We have a rollover, and let's check. Let's check what's happening in the volume. Um, I guess I'm going to bring my Excel chart here. We are trading. Okay. Disregard what? Disregard this part. This is last contract data. It doesn't matter. But notice that volume is starting to picking up. This is March contract. No, that is still not, but it's still not significant. When I see this, when I start to see this volume, maybe getting close to 100,000, which can happen anytime during this day. It may happen on Wednesday. May happen on Wednesday, right? Um, these 2 weeks, right, are really complicated weeks. Really complicated weeks. There is a lot of volatility, a lot of change that can happen, and a lot of back and forth that can happen during this day. If there is change in the market, we can see the market taking or starting to pick a direction. Right? No change. We see the market just being constantly getting short, getting long, getting short, getting liquidated, getting short covered, stuff like that. This week and the next one are weeks in which I have to be very careful. Be very careful, usually waiting for confirmation or trading small or not trading at all. Not trading at all, okay, because it is tremendous amount of risk. From my point of view, anything that can happen in this market can really, it is heavily oriented to, or to get a good also if there is any kind of exogenous event or external catalytic, can really trigger a violent, like really virulent short covering rally or a really quick squeeze of shorts or a really fast liquidation of any loans that are in the market. Because after all, let me call the bar charts again. After all, what we have daily, okay, what we have here, what we have in the ES at least, is this day here is the beginning of the current contract. Okay, the beginning of you can almost trace a line here, right? Right. Below this is short, current contract getting short, current contract getting long. Right? Rallies come back, rallies come back, rallies come back. Attempts rally. Going to close this? No. But basically, what I'm seeing, what I've seen the most is just short-term trading. Um, Short-term trading, right? Short-term trading, basically throughout 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 um, the life of this contract. And I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if this market comes back and closes, right? After or before, right at the end of the rollover, closes or starts right here. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Okay? Because if it is just short covering, nobody wants to execute this contract. That is what I'm trying to say. Now let's check the other charts. Okay, let's check Nasdaq. What do we have in Nasdaq? Nasdaq is even clearer here. Clearer. You can see, for example, you can see this trend in the monthly. Remember, ES almost took, this high out, just like a few hundreds from the high. It's clearly, in Nasdaq the trend to the downside. So why you want now? This is the one that has more odds, that keep going lower. What I'm framing in the weekly, and now the same pattern happening here. 50s. The Nasdaq is challenging, might try to close the gap. What is this gap? 26, maybe 26.30, right? What's the high of this previous month? 26 to it has plenty of this market can close the gap. What's the high of the previous month? 26 266 this one here. It's previous month high. So this market, Nasdaq, can close the gap and still be a market to the downside in the monthly, in the bigger time frame. Okay, and remember, Nasdaq and ES move the same way, not necessarily at the same time. Dow, let's check the Dow. The Dow still has, this market is still trending higher. Nothing has changed. It has to break hard to show change in the bigger time frame. Still trending higher in the weekly time frame as well, and the tremendous back and forth. I guess now it's testing or checking this range here, has re-entered. There's a breakout of this 1, 2, 3 day range. Now the market is checking this range. Downside continuation, we see the market coming towards the 47,300 here. There's a big range here, bigger one here, down, something like that may happen. Russell. Why I do have this highlighted? Oh, okay. I have this highlighted for a long time. No, this kind of like a range here, based on the daily, I believe. You know, and just check out what the market has done. You know, looks below the range, doesn't reach the 200. Um, question high, question high here, three. Right, but right now this market has reached the opposite side of this range. Right, and it's selling right from there. This high is very weak here. Okay, but something that can happen here is the market can look above a little bit, okay, and then come back towards this one here, or maybe even down here. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's what something I would see, right? Because if there's a rally, a Santa Claus rally, come on, man, this could have been perfect. Well, if the market was down here, that would have been the that would have been what all it could have had better also happening. Now he has already reached the opposite side here. Anything out of this range, especially towards the upside, would require a different kind of this would be basically a breakout of range, right? Breakout of balance. Um, uh, short time, short-term traders. It is not a job of the short-term traders to take the market out of balance. Let me close that. Let me close this. Pay attention to these values, okay? Where you can find those ones are in here, CMA group. And what I'm checking here is, for example, I check the volume. This one here is the volume from Friday, for example, right? And this volume is the sum of all the contracts that we have. We have December contract, 1.26 million. March contract is 15,000. June contract is 44, for example. And the other ones have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I am looking what's happening to this one when it jumps significantly, and this will how this one behaves also. Okay. Remember that. Do you remember that week in which this volume was close to 2 million? I hope you remember that. Follow through, or keep that information handy as well. It can be relevant. Okay, I don't need this one anymore. I don't need this one anymore. I don't need. Do I need this? Do I need this? Yep. Yep. Let me close this. Let me minimize. I'm going to minimize this. I don't need that one anymore. Um, okay. What I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep this arrow there, but I'm going to move this one over here. We got weakness over there in these levels. The lower side has been fixed, but it's still leaving this very questionable highs. This low, the low here, questionable low has been repaired. Now we have a better one, only 2 ticks, but the same thing that has happened on Friday, buying from seller, same thing is happening now, buying from Friday's low. I mean Thursday's low. Okay, exactly the same level. Okay, exactly. This market can go higher or can break lower. Here, the risk on both sides are high. Okay? Got to got to remain patient. This one is not a reference anymore. Okay, this is kind of like around this area now. Late pullback. Oh, look at this. This is the late pullback low this day, man. This is something that catches my attention on Thursday. Friday. Friday, for example, has built value above that area, that reference. Now is building value below. So what I could do here is I can pretty much join these 3 days. These 3 days. Let me do something here. Let me. Come on, man. A chart. Duplicate. Let me duplicate this chart. I'm going to duplicate this chart, and because I want to do something here. Let me erase tools. Erase all no drawing things because I don't care about that thing. Let me hide this study. Let me hide this study. Okay. So now I only have profiles here. Why I want this? I want to erase the numbers as well. I just want I need to find out a way to hide this, because why I'm interested is actually just in the histograms. How can I do that? Okay, I will do that after the market. Why I'm doing this? Because here I can see better, right? For example, this is the daily for ES, and this is the daily for Nasdaq, and this is the gap Nasdaq has, for example. Right? And notice, and this is just because it's short-term trading, right? When short-term trading is dominating the session, notice what's happening here, for example. We've got nothing here, no volume here. Where's the next accumulation of volume? Up here, right? Where's the next accumulation of volume in the lower side? What it was today? It was down here, right? Where's the next one? Maybe a little bit down here. I have to zoom out to see how much I have here. The next one down here, and along with it, the 50 moving average right there. That's something that we can see. But I can see that better, all right? If there is, for the market to have some downside here, some advance towards this area, especially when the trading is being dominated by short-term trading. Look at what it has here. It has nothing, just whites. Whites here, whites here, right? Anything moving lower or downwards will need support, will need to be supported by volume. I don't see that happening here, right? Now, if I check my histograms, these two are the same, but I have better, kind of like a better vision. This is better configuration than both are studies, are different studies that show me the same thing. But I can see a little bit better here, right? I can see some, for example, this pure accumulation here, right? Absolutely nothing here, right? Nothing here as well, right? Notice where this market started. There's huge accumulation, very narrow range, and a perfect inside bar, and there's a breakout that happened with the inside bar. It checks the center, the bigger part of the volume, right? It doesn't go higher, right? So all the longs that are here, if are forced to liquidate now, right? And also add to that there is a breakout on inside bar. This low could have been actually a good area, right? To monitor the trade. Let me see if that was the case. For example, kind of like that. There's some kind of wait a minute. What's happening here? This, my bad. I'm going to take those words back. This is the overnight. This is the overnight session. Okay, I'm going to disregard. Please disregard what I am wrong here. I thought that was an I thought that was a day, but it is not. Right? The same way of thinking. Okay, you have this inventory here. All the overnight is long, as we said at the beginning of the stream. All the inventory is long. This adding, this inventory is adding to this, right? And this is the high. I would take as a reference. This area here, what is the 68.80, right? It tests the upper side of this area. It needs volume as it goes higher, and it didn't try. The market opened here and shoot it way lower, right? And started to have accumulation, right? As the market check these volumes out, start to have. Now we have a little bit more going lower, right? Here, right? This one doesn't count because this day has taken care of this one. This previous, the same thing goes for this day here. Now, what I think I can do here is I can join actually. I can join these 3 days. I could join. I don't wanna see this overnight here. Let's see what I can do there. Because this is going to be misleading here. Oh, I know. I have to do that. Time frame chart. Just settings. Use the session time. Oh no. Also no. Let's do no here. Apply. Let's check if that. There you go. That's better. Okay, because I don't want to see overnight here. That can be misleading. That can be misleading. As a matter of fact, okay. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens if I merge these 4 days here. Huh. This will be interesting. We might see something here. Oh yeah. Okay, because I already have these profiles merged. Check this out. Check what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to merge this area here, these profiles here. I'm going to merge these days as well. Okay, because there's clearly very clear that there are two distributions there. Let me undo this one. I just want to check if that's what I did. What day is this? This is the 14th. There you go. That's the 14th, but I will need to add more times, more days. At least let's add 5 more days here. 5 more days. To cover the week that we are to cover the week that we are in now. Until next Friday, I'm going to merge this profile starting there. Wait a minute. Okay, before I do that, I need to do something else. Ellipse. This area here, okay? This area. I need to know where it is because it's clearly there are clear volumes there. There's clear accumulations there. It has several. It has several accumulations, and all of that because this is or what I am seeing is just short-term trading. Okay, so if there's something happened to the downside, uh, I want to know or want to see where all this trading can be heading to. Okay, where it can end. Okay, all right. I think I have something here. Now I can merge this. Let me erase this. Okay. Merge and okay, right there. Hmm. Actually, I didn't need this. Let's erase this. It's right there. I have two kinds of information here. What I have is the hold, those 2, 4, 6, 8 days together, right? And also the last day, which would be the 25th, right? Highlighted here with these bubbles here. I'm going to merge this one too. All right, I have something there. You can see there. Look at this. What? Look at this. There's something interesting happening here now. Huh. There is more volume up here than down here. So this can be. Let me check how much volume you have. 10,000 is 10,000. I know 60 or 100,000. Around 100,000. The maximum here. 80,000, 60,000, something like that. Let's check this one. This is the biggest one. Sixty, 70,000 is the biggest one. Average 40, 50, something like that. Huh. It is more extended though. Right? It is more extended. But this is interesting. Okay. Why is how many days do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in the upper side. The lower side has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Both are the same. It's clearly this narrow range. All right. This narrow range here has way more volume than this one here. Okay. Uh, a resolution, um, a resolution of that. If there is any change there, any breakout of the range, um, what what I would call range is this range. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, any breakout of this, or to the downside, can be really huge here. Okay. In the breakout, remember there's also the possibility that we might see something like this. When we see a loop below and failure, right? And the market open on or face FOMC right here at the center of the range, right at the center of the range here on Wednesday around 2 p.m. I don't know, those are the kind of uh, mental games or plays, imagination plays, or mental scenarios that I am always going to be uh, trying to picture, right? So if one thing happened, you may kind of like have rehearsed what you can do, you could done when you see something. Something else. Now I'm going to go back into today's session. I had too much of these things, man. That's too small. This is better. I guess I'm going to put this one behind this guy here. Okay. Let me check how much memory this thing is taking. Tax manager. I have 66% total. Oh, I don't like that. Oh. Oh, I have OBS also. I have the stream app. Maybe that's why. Mhm. And that I don't have a rhythmic or crowd rate here now anymore. Mhm. All right, let's go back. Nasdaq. I need to change this name here. Where do I change name? Display. Display. Yeah. ES volume. OSP 100 ES volume. Apply. Okay, that's better. ES Nasdaq. Okay. I was going to talk about Nasdaq now. Nasdaq. I have made the decision to not touch Nasdaq again anymore. No, I have, it's just too volatile now for my my type of trading. It is not the first time I might make this decision. Let's check where I saw some volume. This is the 20 out of this area. Okay, let's copy this one. Copy because it's very specific. 2577 is kind of like here. There's another blocks, no, another high volume area around, because there are many people that trades Nasdaq. There's another these are these two ones. These ones over here. I have this one. I have this one. I have this one. Okay, and this one is right at the low of C. So and it's not that much copy and move. So that would be kind of like around here, right? It is too wide. That would be here. Would it here? Then I have more. 1, 2, 3, 4. At the fields, I have more than here. Around the 25,640, which is down here. This is a little bit wide. Have another one coming up here. Okay, there's some volume here, but I think this the more periods that are accumulated on top of this, the less relevant they are. Okay, that's at least that's my appreciation for this. This reference now has been repaired. I would consider this one of relevance now. Very questionable. Very questionable. RM highs down here. This one, and that is this area here. Uh, and very questionable low as well. Notice this accumulation of volume here. What it is, it also coincides with the low part of the volume. Okay, if there is some, it's kind of like there's just rebalancing on inventory, right? More volume is being added on that, but since there is nothing below, if there is no volume here coming lower, the odds that this part is going to be taken or that we are going to have advanced towards the lower side are decreasing. So if I have a short here, for example, I would be I would be very careful to taking any kind of shorts in this part, right? Uh, in this part of this market now, you know? Because there is why again? Because that is what I was that this is what I am observing is happening in this market. It's basically the market being attracted to these accumulations of volume that we have here. If there's more volume coming towards the downside, meaning that the market instead of having this shape has this shape, it means volume is coming, right? As the market goes lower, volume accumulates. So the odds to keep going lower uh, still remain high. And the odds of continuation are high. Now, having this kind of shape, if the market keeps going lower, but volume doesn't join, so some sort of pivot maybe or maybe found down here. I'm acknowledging that that is happening in one specific kind of market, which is the one that we're having now that's dominated by short-term trading. That can make the difference. Okay, I am watching that. If there is change, that also can be reflected or can start. The change can start in that particular um, property or that particular specifically part of the market, right? Which is what kind of participants are dominating the session. All right. I don't have anything else to do or to say or to talk. And unless you have any questions, I will be calling it a day. The day also is pretty much over as well. Since let me know if anybody wants to have this part. As a matter of fact, let me check how much memory this uses. So I'm going to close Nasdaq here. I have 65 now. I want to remove this. It doesn't change. Zero chart, very high. Now it's very high. Moderated. Task manager. OBS. We see OBS has also uses a good amount of memory. Okay. As I say, you don't have any questions. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. I hope you had a good trading day and wish you the best. Hope I can see you tomorrow.